So Google Summer of Code. What is Google Summer of Code? Google Summer of Code is a global online program focused on bringing new contributors into open source development. GSOC contributors work with an open source organization on a 12 plus week programming project under a guidance of mentors. This is what they themselves define Google Summer of Code as. So now you might be thinking it's an online program, okay, global, new contributors, but what is open source development? So open source software development. Open source you can think of as now software whose code you can see and you can use it freely. For now, this definition is enough. So, and I recommend you to check out this page and click on learn more. You will be redirected to all the informations like how to apply, like contributors, organizations, mentors, the entire timeline. You can view the details of the timeline also. There are more links. So keep do your own research properly. You will get to know more about it. So now I will be moving on with the questions that I've prepared for asking. First, could all the panel members introduce them, like tell about which organizations they contributed to? Uh, First, can we go with Manav?
Hello, so my name is Manav Sarkar. I'm from IT department and I've contributed to the AUSSIE organization, AOSSIE. Okay, so Open Australia Open Source Software Innovation and Education, its full form. And in this under this organization, I've contributed to the project peer-to-peer messaging application. It was based on the Flutter framework, and that was about my organization. And next, Rahul Bhaiya, Akshat Bhaiya.
Yeah, Akshat Bhaiya.
Hello guys. So my name is Akshat Agarwal. I am from IT department fourth year, and I have cleared GSOC in the organization Sugar Labs this year. And yeah, ask me any doubt if you have regarding GSOC. I'm there to help you.
Yeah. Hi everyone. This is Rahul, your fourth year CST senior. Yep, I did last year. Last year was I did my GSOC under the organization Rocket Chat. It's alternative open source alternative to Slack. If you have ever worked with Slack, I mean most of it you will someday. But yeah, uh, we'll be discussing few of the points which Neeraj has prepared today, and after that we'll go on and take on your questions. So I think Neeraj, you can go and start on.
Yeah. So my first question is like, what is the timeline? Can you tell about in brief and how to apply? They can read the
So,
details from the official, but yeah, in your own words.
so shall I start? Shall I start?
Yeah.
So, sorry. So the GSOC starts from that from the March or April. The application period opens, and this is about the timeline. The application period opens from the March, and for applying, we need to create a proposal that what are going to do in this GSOC period, and this proposal should mention that what are going to do. Maybe the organization mention their topics, or we can also contribute from ourselves that what we will do extra in that, like it was in my case. And you have to give this and the details of your proposal means project, what we are going to do in the week wise, what will be the contribution that can be made, what is the approach that we can take. And then according to, there are two phases, that first half and second half. That first half ends like in July, there is the first evaluation, and the second evaluation is in on September in the year 2022. So it might change, and total period is of 12 weeks, and we can communicate with our mentors in that time. We can also communicate before that also. And for creating the proposal also, we need to do some prior communication with the organization and the project leads or who are the project who have contributed to that project previously. And Akshat Bhaiya, Rahul Bhaiya, they will describe a little more.
Would you like to add something to it?
No, I think that's good. Yeah, mostly that.
Yeah. So
You need to start beforehand, mm, like from November, December. This is the right time, but if you go now and see all the organizations repo, you will find thousands of people spamming their issues and all. But yeah, the timeline has already started for you guys. So, yep, we can. If Akshat has nothing to add, we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, let me just add something that first let me just share my screen
yeah, and
so I can.
if anyone has any questions, they can write in chat box, like regarding whatever they tell.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, so first of all, what is the timeline is like this, that and when in February 2022, on February 22, you will get the list of the accepted mentoring organizations. So here it will be the list of the organization which will come on in the year 2023, and they will also show their projects that they will be organizing that year. And then from the February 22 to March 19, you need to apply for these GSOC projects. And the application period will start from the period from 20 March, and this is all the rest. So सबसे पहले बात तो ये है कि तुम्हारी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की लिस्ट आएगी वो तुम्हारी February 22 को आएगी। तो अभी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की लिस्ट है वो पिछले साल की लिस्ट है। तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि इसमें काफी नई ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आए और काफी इसमें से ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हट जाएं। और अब इसमें बात आई कि इसमें अप्लाई कैसे करना है। तो जैसे मानव ने बताया कि इसमें तुम्हें एक प्रपोजल देना होता है। तो ये प्रपोजल क्या रखता है, मेनली तुम्हारा ये रखता है कि तुम्हें इस आंसर का इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब देना होता है कि वाई मी, कि तुम्हें क्यों सेलेक्ट करें जीसॉक के लिए। तो उसमें तुम्हें क्या दिखाना है, तुम्हें ये दिखाना है कि देखो जो तुम प्रोजेक्ट हम मुझको दोगे, मुझे उसका नॉलेज पहले से है, उसमें जो टेक स्टैक यूज होगा वो मुझे नॉलेज है, उस प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में मुझे पता है कि उस प्रोजेक्ट को कैसे करना है। और तीसरा कि मैंने देखो तुम्हारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में पहले से काम कर रखा है। अगर तुम ये तीन चीजें अपने प्रपोजल में दिखा देते हो तो तुम्हारा चांसेस जीसॉक में सिलेक्ट होने के बहुत बढ़ जाएंगे। किसी का कोई डाउट हो तो पूछ लो।
Is there any selection process working under an organization, or they accept everyone and they qualify only? आप खुद पढ़ लीजिए ना। मुझे ये लग रहा है कि आपने आंसर कर ही दिया एक तरीके से, कि सब लोग कंट्रीब्यूट करना है, अपने आप को प्रूव करना है कि वाई मी।
What
हाँ,
about new
ये वाले का तो
applicants?
आंसर हो गया शाइनी। इसमें कुछ और तुम्हारा
New
डाउट
applicants
है
as
क्या?
in सभी तो न्यू
Manav
एप्लीकेंट
must
है।
know before applying for GSOC। देखो तुम विक्रम, स्किल्स बहुत वास्ट है, मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि बस वेब वेब डेवलपमेंट के लोग ही इसमें जा सकते हैं। इसमें तुम्हारा रिएक्ट, पाइथन, इवन वेब 3, ब्लॉकचेन, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, C++, मशीन लर्निंग, सारी स्किल्स कवर होती है। लेकिन ऐसा है कि मेजोरिटी तुम्हारे, तुम अगर देखोगे प्रोजेक्ट्स तो ज्यादातर वो तुम्हें वेब डेवलपमेंट और पाइथन में मिलेंगे। व्हाट अबाउट न्यू एप्लीकेंट्स साइड? ये क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आया है।
हाँ, प्रपोजल के बारे में मैं क्वेश्चन लाऊंगा बाद में। तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में जाते हैं। लाइक प्री रिक्विजिट में हम लोग ने फॉर्म रिलीज किया था, तो इन दैट फॉर्म like many juniors ask what are the prerequisite and what is the eligibility criteria for applying to GSOC. So can you share some light on this?
I think if you are just a college student, that's enough.
Enough.
अभी तो I think above 18 है ना शायद।
Above
तो
18
कोई भी
yes.
ज्वाइन कर, अभी तो कोई भी कर सकता है।
Above 18
If
is the
you are
criteria.
above 18, That's the only criteria.
वो 15 और
Which
prerequisite तो whatever like development में whatever
Ankur,
interest you.
which is
what
more
is
important,
important?
competitive programming or development, bro?
ये तो YouTube में जाके बहुत मिल जाएगा.
मतलब we are talking about GSOC here, so let's not do this.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
entire video, like roadmap for first year, this entire session is will help you to get the roadmap. कि कैसे apply करना है, क्या सीखना है. Everything will be discussed here. This is the roadmap. So
A roadmap for first year, ब्रो यूट्यूब पे 15,000 रोड मैप मिलेंगे तुमको. तुम वापस देख सुन के क्या करोगे?
yeah.
कर.
Next question I will start with Akshat bhaiya. Uh, like how did you choose your org? Like what criteria? What did you think of while choosing your org?
In choosing the organization, there are mainly 3 to 4 things that we need to check. तो सबसे पहली बात तो ये कि तुम्हारा टेक स्टैक तुम्हारी उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के टेक स्टैक से मैच करना चाहिए, पहली बात. दूसरी बात ये कि यू नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पिछले 2-3 साल से आ रही है और वो 4-5 प्रोजेक्ट्स कम से कम अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इतने कम से कम जीसॉक के लिए ला रही है. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ 1-2 प्रोजेक्ट के लिए आ रही है, कम से कम 5 या 6 प्रोजेक्ट्स वो अपने जीसॉक के लिए ला रही है. तीसरा ये कि वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है एक्टिव एक्टिव हो, उसकी कम्युनिटी एक्टिव हो. मतलब अगर उसकी कम्युनिटी एक्टिव नहीं है तो इट इज मोर लाइकली कि वो अगले साल जीसॉक में नहीं आएगी. Yeah, that's all the things that we need to check that before selecting an organization, I think.
Hmm. Does
Rahul, you want to add something?
yeah.
Um, आई थिंक दैट पॉइंट कि जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में प्रोजेक्ट ज़्यादा है उसका वैल्यू इसलिए ज़्यादा है क्योंकि उनके पास स्टूडेंट्स एक्वायर करने के लिए मतलब ज़्यादा स्पॉट्स है. So each organization is given like a number of spots they can or the number of students they can take. uh, right. So जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पास ज़्यादा प्रोजेक्ट्स होंगे या ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट स्पॉट होंगे तो ऑफकोर्स उसमें चांस तुम्हारा ज़्यादा रहेगा और वहाँ पे कंपटीशन थोड़ा कम रहेगा इन कंपैरिजन टू जिनके पास प्रोजेक्ट 1 या 2 है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट नहीं, अक्षत कवर्ड ऑल द पॉइंट्स. या
Manav, is there anything you want to add?
No, Akshat bhai and Rahul bhai have covered everything. Yeah, the selecting the organization mainly depends on your tech stack only. Like mine was the Flutter one, so I just did that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
अच्छा,
next.
एडिंग ऑन टू
मैं
दिस.
एक चीज.
ओके.
हाँ हाँ, बोलो बोलो.
हाँ अक्षत बोल, अक्षत बोल.
तो मेन ये होता है कि जो जब तुम टेक स्टैक देखते हो कि उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में क्या यूज हो रहा है, तो मान लो उधर 5 टेक स्टैक यूज हो रहे हैं, तो तुम देखोगे कि तुम्हारा सिर्फ 3 टेक स्टैक तुम्हें आते हैं. और हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऐसा होगा कि कोई एक ना एक लैंग्वेज जरूर ऐसी होगी जो तुमने नहीं पढ़ी होगी. तो उसमें घबराना नहीं है कि ऐसा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगा तो अगर 5 में से 3 तुम्हें आता है तो इट इज मोर देन एनफ.
मैं ये ऐड कर रहा था कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का ये सीन है कि देयर विल बी सम प्रीटी इजी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड कुछ रहेंगे जो द प्रोजेक्ट्स विल बी रियली डिफिकल्ट लाइक C++ पे होएगा. तो डूइंग दोज काइंड ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, मतलब एट दिस स्टेज अभी तो. बट इफ यू आर गुड एट इट तो पक्का गो अहेड एंड डू इट, क्योंकि the more difficult the project you choose, the less the competition there is. The more easier the project you choose, the more the competition there is. Okay, so keep that also in mind कि अगर तुम बहुत इजी प्रोजेक्ट चूज कर रहे हो कि किसी का वेबसाइट बना देना है, तो उसमें अपने इंडिया में कितने लोग, मतलब बिलियंस ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, राइट, 1 लाख लोग उसी में प्रपोजल भर रहे होंगे. तो योर प्रपोजल माइट जस्ट गेट लॉस्ट इन दैट whole entire process. So as I so take a project which is a little bit more complex than just the normal simple project, because like I said, तुम्हारा proposal गुम हो जाएगा क्योंकि competition बहुत ज्यादा होगा. Yeah, and अभी तो it's not just about college students, it's about 18 plus, whoever is 18 plus. So yeah.
एक क्वेश्चन आया है, app dev has good number of opportunities. ये तो
Hmm.
that's numbers तो बता पाएंगे क्या?
App
There is.
app dev, yeah. See, in general, any kind of development that you do will have some opportunity or there out there in the world. Okay, so nothing will go to waste. If you learn web today or if you learn app tomorrow, then whatever knowledge that you gain from that, मतलब वो कभी ना कभी काम आएगा ही तुमको. तुम कुछ भी करने जाओ, your end goal is to become a good software engineer, right? So whatever you do, it will be a good thing for you only. So don't focus on what opportunities you have, या वगैरह वगैरह. Just try learning more stuff.
Can we apply to multiple? Yes, we can apply to multiple organizations. There's a question from 2020 ETB055. We can apply to multiple organizations.
You have to write multiple proposals then.
I think you can maximum apply to three
Yes,
projects.
3 projects.
Submit 3 proposals at max.
Okay, so
एक बार चेक कर लेना, ये पक्का नहीं हूँ मैं, लेकिन
हाँ.
मल्टीपल में कर सकते हैं, ये पक्का नहीं।
Multiple consultants.
Okay, any more questions? तो नहीं तो let me move on to the next question. So next question, let's start with Rahul bhaiya. Like how to make the first contribution and what was your first contribution to the organization?
Okay. First contribution, usually the organizations which are like जिनका community थोड़ा अच्छा है या फिर which are up to date, they'll have like issues labeled on their GitHub कि ये newcomer के लिए, or this is like good first only issue, something like that. So you can pick up those issues and then start solving them. Uh, what I did as my first मतलब पहला contribution जो था was not really in the organization which I was part in GSOC, but किसी और में था. It was some basic web related thing कि मेरे को कुछ UI component बनाना था. Uh, yep, that was my first issue. वो बहुत पहले था. And like it's mostly कि तुम अगर पहले कोड पढ़ने जाओगे and then you will try to figure out कि ये इशू कहाँ पे हो रहा है और कैसे सॉल्व करना है, तो you won't be able to really grasp onto the, मतलब तुमको नहीं पता चलेगा वो. So what you do is you first have a basic general idea of what the organization is or what the project is, and then you see कि मतलब एक प्रोजेक्ट का आर्किटेक्चर होता है. सो जस्ट इन जनरल सेंस, तो अगर तुम एक वेबसाइट बना रहे हो तो वेबसाइट का एक आर्किटेक्चर होता है बनाने का, राइट? उसका फोल्डर स्ट्रक्चर होता है एक. इट्स वेरी जनरल, इट्स वेरी कॉमन, हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होता है. सो दे माइट फॉलो डिफरेंट आर्किटेक्चर्स, बट हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक आर्किटेक्चर टाइप होता है. सो लाइक इफ यू फाइंड एन इशू कि लेट्स से देयर इज अ इशू कॉल्ड कि ये डिजाइन है, इसको अपडेट करना है, मतलब मुझे एक बटन को अपडेट करना है, ठीक है? सो बटन का डिजाइन चेंज करना है. सो अभी तुम अगर अभी 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 मतलब तुम पहले से, अगर तुमको नहीं पता हो, मतलब इशू नहीं देख के तुम पहले से कोड खोजने जाओगे एंड देन यू विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट कि ये कहाँ पर है, तो वैसे नहीं होगा. बट यू फाउंड द इशू कि हाँ मेरे को बटन अपडेट करना है, तो यू जस्ट गो टू दैट स्पेसिफिक पार्ट ऑफ द कोड. you'll have to know कि मतलब जस्ट उस छोटे से पार्ट में चेंज करके यू कैन मेक द कंट्रीब्यूशन rather than कि तुम्हें पूरा कोड बेस आना चाहिए या समथिंग लाइक दैट, ठीक है? तो उतना छोटा सा डिजाइन चेंज है फॉर द बटन एंड यू कैन डू दैट चेंज एंड क्रिएट योर फर्स्ट पुल रिक्वेस्ट, फर्स्ट इशू. या दैट्स,
Small contributions.
या.
Uh, anyone like to add their points on how to make first country?
Let's start with the small organization, small projects or small organizations, or you can take also the bigger one. But try if there is a bigger project, they always mention their project structure or as Rahul Bhaiya said, the architecture. So what section does what, and before going to the code, it is better to check that if there is any issue or not, and after that, checking that issue, we can go to that part and understand the code and that is also related to that, which what is your tech stack. Otherwise, you won't understand what is what is happening there. And my first contribution was also on a different project. It was also a Flutter project, but it was on a different project. Yeah, so that was my first contribution.
Okay,
You
for
want to add
first,
something?
go ahead.
Yeah, speak, Rahul.
So for first contribution, you can also do documentation contribution actually. So documentation, helping with documentation, a lot of organization needs documentation update. Okay, so they will mostly have some kind of issue which says कि इसका documentation update कर दो या फिर ये लिख दो कि ये start कैसे होता है and all. So you will gain context. What this does is कि you will gain context into the system, into their architecture, into their project, and then you'll write the documentation matlab better, which is like really good for you to get into the organization. So this can be a very good like first issue of yours to actually do some documentation contribution. People usually think कि documentation करके कुछ फायदा नहीं है, but it's not like that. तुम documentation वाला change करोगे तो तुम्हें तुमसे ज्यादा system का मतलब knowledge किसी को नहीं होगा, मतलब उस point of time पे जितना भी तुमने documentation किया होगा, right? So yeah.
करेक्ट, मतलब देखो, अगर तुम्हें गिट और गिटहब नहीं आती है तो इट वुड बी गुड कि तुम एक गुड फर्स्ट इशू से स्टार्ट करो, और गुड फर्स्ट इशू में मेनली है तुम्हारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में कुछ चेंज, इवन कुछ ग्रामेटिकल चेंज, कुछ हल्का सा चेंज, कैपिटलाइज कर देना, थोड़ा सा चेंज कर देना, फॉन्ट चेंज कर देना, ये सब आता है। तो तुम अगर ये करते हो तो तुम्हारा पहला जो कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा उसमें तुम गिट एंड गिटहब सीख जाओगे। अब अगर तुमने हैकटूबर फेस्ट या फिर पहले कोई रिक्वेस्ट नहीं भेजी है तो तुम ऐसा करो, वरना तुम डायरेक्ट उसके अच्छे कुछ गुड गुड फर्स्ट इशू या फिर किसी कोड के जिसमें कोड में कोई बग हो, उस वाले इशू पे काम करना शुरू करो और उधर कंट्रीब्यूट करोगे तो ज्यादा बढ़िया रहेगा। मेरे टाइम पे मैंने अपने जो पहला कंट्रीब्यूशन किया था, एक उसके फ्रेमवर्क में एक टेस्टिंग केसेस डालने थे, तो मैंने उस पे काम किया था।
हाँ, ओके। तो एक क्वेश्चन आया है कि इज देयर एनी चांस proceed with knowledge of basic app dev in GSOC 23? ये तो आंसर हो ही गया है।
Of course, चांस की नहीं है। तुम प्रपोजल बना के भेज दो, फिर पता चलेगा चांस हुआ कि नहीं, है ना?
And also find the organization.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अच्छा खोल लो, प्रोजेक्ट देख लो, प्रपोजल बना के भेज दो। अगर इस बार नहीं हुआ तो अगले साल ट्राई कर लेना।
Keep trying, keep involving yourself with open source community. So next question में जाते हैं। We'll start with Manav this time. So like you might have faced some time that you weren't able to understand how to fix the issue. You have found some issues and you're not able to fix the issues. So then what did you do? Like, did you keep on trying to fix that issue, or did you ask for help? And how was the response? Like, did you get the help, or you moved on to the next
Uh,
issue?
so yeah, that was many times that we cannot figure out that what happened. Means what happened with me was that there was an error that was continuously appearing, and I cannot find the source. That what is happening? So the easy thing is that to find in Stack Overflow that anyone has the face the same issue or not, because anyone can face that. Other than that, the mentors. So yeah, I means ask the mentors. Yes, I asked them in Slack, and they means they were not active. They replied RR2, and before that I got that same answer in Stack Overflow also. So yeah, faced the issue a lot of times, and mentors were always active to answer. I had two mentors, so they were always active, and they also had a good knowledge. Means they were mentors. They always will have a good knowledge, and it is also better to fix the issue on your own also, because sometimes you may also make the same mistake. Like sometimes it happens. Yeah, doing a bigger thing, you miss the smaller things.
Yeah, like any two of you want to add something to this? Like, what did you do when you weren't able to fix issue or understand the issue? Did you move on to the new one, or did you kept on trying, or how did you fix the issue?
Manav has covered it all the points. Mainly the thing is that you can ask from mentors, they will help you, they will only guide you. आखिरी में तुम्हें अपने mentor को ही एक बार impress करके दिखाना है और कुछ नहीं. वही तुम्हारा आखिरी में proposal select कर. Proposal भी फालतू का माना जाता है मेरे हिसाब से तो. कोई फायदा नहीं है. अगर तुम्हारा मेंटर से अच्छा जान पहचान है, अगर तुम्हारा कम्युनिटी में नाम है, तो तुम्हारा जीसॉक में सेलेक्ट होने के बहुत चांसेस बढ़ जाते हैं. तो मेन है कि मेंटर से अपना कम्युनिकेट करो, उसे हर चीज, उससे हर जो भी कोई दिक्कत है उससे पूछो, वो हमेशा हेल्प करते हैं, बहुत फ्रेंडली होते हैं, बहुत हेल्प करते हैं.
मेंटर से साथ कम्युनिकेट करते
Like every organization have their means communication channel, like someone will have Discord, someone will have Slack, someone will have Gitter, anything, but there will be a communication point where you can communicate, and it is better to communicate there. It is recommended to communicate there.
हैं. Rahul bhaiya, like, is there anything you want to add?
सो मेंटर्स के साथ कम्युनिकेशन का ये सीन है कि तुम you so you need to understand one thing is that ki GSOC is something that is not really what they get paid for. उनको इसके पैसे नहीं मिलते, ठीक है. एंड से दे they could literally just ignore you, but out of their love for the community and the open source, everybody does the work, right? So you might always not get like the proper response at the proper instant कि अभी text किया तो अभी मिल गया, right? So ऐसा तो most of the time नहीं होता है. Yes, bonding with the mentor is really important in the sense, but I wouldn't say that much also, because if you have the skills तो bond मतलब bond नहीं भी करोगे तो that does not matter, right? क्योंकि they will a- always get the person who is better at their skills, and जिनके पास ज्यादा skills है उनको लेंगे पहले, right? uh, Second point is कि what was I going to say? This yeah, दिमाग से निकल गया. Lord. Uh, right. दिमाग से निकल गया मेरे. I was going to say something. Move on. Yep.
एक क्वेश्चन आया, like, is there any community club where I can ask my app dev doubts? हाँ, like CodeIST, GDSC, IST, ये दोनों कोडिंग क्लब्स है ना, तो हम लोग पूरा एक कम्युनिटी है. तो you can ask to any channel that you are communicating, like CodeIST unofficial एक WhatsApp group है. There is also Telegram group, Discord group.
There's a Telegram group, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remembered. So whenever you face an issue, right, try Googling the issue first. Okay? As a developer, you should always know how to Google the particular things that are there, right? तुमको कुछ एरर फेंक रहा है तो सीधा सीधा एरर कॉपी पेस्ट करके मत डाल दो गूगल पे, ठीक है. मतलब मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू विल गेट अ वेरी स्टैक ओवरफ्लो इज आंसर, बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द एरर इज, क्या हो रहा है, एंड देन go ahead and try googling the exact things, right? So your keywords are important, what you type on Google, right? So जितना तुम्हारा keywords better है, you will be able to find the answer very easily to whatever the problem you have faced or whatever the bug you have fixed. And never go to your mentors like ये चल नहीं रहा है, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा कभी मत जाना. Find something, find a very sophistic, कुछ तो निकालो कि why this might not be working, कि लेट्स से कि कुछ तो कहीं पे वेब पे फट रहा है कि एक बटन तुम्हारा काम नहीं कर रहा है, राइट? सो ट्राई टू फिगर आउट कि नहीं वो सीएसएस का एरर हो सकता है, शायद आई हैव ट्राइड दिस, आई हैव ट्राइड समथिंग द जावास्क्रिप्ट साइड, ठीक है. मतलब मैंने सब जगह ट्राई करके देखा, ये कंक्लूजन निकला, बट स्टिल आई एम फेसिंग दिस एरर, could you please help, ठीक है. then more he or she will be more invested into your problem, right? तुम ऐसे जाके बोल दोगे कि भाई मेरा ये चल नहीं रहा है, he is might not be give any importance to you. This is what I'm talking about before your proposal gets accepted and you try to make an open source contribution. After the proposal gets accepted, the mentor is bound to talk with you and he is bound to solve the problem, but you should still do all these after that, right? Yeah, यही बोला.
ओके, तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में जाते हैं फिर, स्टार्टिंग विद अक्षत भैया. So was there proposal on the project uh, from the idea list given by the org, or was it something new you came up with?
Yeah, so it was a project idea which was listed on their idea list. लेकिन ऐसा भी होते हैं कुछ लोग जो अपने हिसाब से कम्युनिटी में मेंटर से बात करके एक नया प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोज करते हैं और उनका प्रपोजल जो है वो एक्सेप्ट भी हो जाता है. तो ऐसा भी होता है कि तुम्हारा अगर प्रोजेक्ट तुम्हारे हिसाब से कोई और नया प्रोजेक्ट जो इसमें इनके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या इनके सॉफ्टवेयर में कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, तो उसके बारे में प्रपोजल लिखो और उनको उसमें सबमिट करो तो हो जाता है.
Like Manav and Rahul Bhaiya, do you want to?
So my one was also from that idea list only. So I just explained that what will be my approach in that period. Yeah, and as Akshat said that we can also add, means apart from adding project, we can I think also add our own ideas also. Uh, Besides the topic they have mentioned, we can also add our own ideas. They are accepted too.
Hmm. So Rahul Bhaiya, did you also take took the idea from the idea list, your project proposal?
Ah, it was from the idealist itself. The yeah.
Yeah. So now let's move on to the next question. Let's start with Rahul Bhaiya itself. Like, what are the things or sections a proposal should contain?
Okay. Uh, इसका different थोड़ा every organization might have a different kind of situation कि they want some things on your proposal, they don't want these things on your proposal. They will clearly mention that out. Uh, you'll have to find out these things searching in मतलब तुम चीजों करने मतलब when you will be trying to write your proposal, you'll obviously come across a PDF or a documentation where you'll find key what are the guidelines to write a proposal. In general, if there is no guideline for writing a proposal, then I'll just I'll share up my I'll pull up my proposal. एक minute. In my organization, there was no guidelines, right? So I can show you. एक minute. Here, this one. Just a minute.
And by the way, this session is recorded, so you'll find it on YouTube too. If you don't,
Okay. See, my proposal went like some of my personal details, right? And then there is a brief about what I did, what are the projects I did, मेरा tech stack क्या है, मेरे को क्या आता है, blah blah and all. अभी तक क्या contributions रहे छोटे मोटे कुछ भी. Then there is a section where I mentioned about the availability during GSOC period कि उस टाइम पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँगा जब GSOC का पीरियड चल रहा होगा तो so we have our summer break जब GSOC का पीरियड चलता है तो I mentioned that कि मैं अपना टाइम दे पाऊंगा उस टाइम पे and you won't have to be worried about the fact कि मैं टाइम दे पाऊंगा या नहीं. So yeah. फिर देयर इज अ स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. ये नहीं देने से भी चलता है. Brief is important and these personal details are of course important. Your availability is important. Major tasks, these are something that I just digged up मतलब ऐसा randomly because I had to create a good project, right? Proposal. So I had some two major points and then there goes some reasoning behind how I was going to achieve whatever major task that I have written. So It's mostly that reasons है यहाँ पे. There is some Figma prototype that I made. There are some illustrations drawing into that. Then, so this entire part is basically what the working of my project is going to look like. Okay. मतलब मैंने जैसा इमेजिन किया कि प्रोजेक्ट कैसा काम करेगा, that I have put into words and just written it over here. Next is the important part. This one is also important, the timeline and the milestones. There is a pre-GSOC. Will all of you will have to matlab, make this is always in every organization. Like there is a pre-GSOC community bonding, then the weeks as they go on. So what you mention here is कि तुम उस time period में क्या करने वाले हो, right? It's pretty basic कि तुम अभी तक इतना achieve करने का aim कर रहे हो. It does not मतलब तुम एक्चुअली जब प्रपोज कर रहे हो, मे बी यू माइट मिस आउट ऑन सम ऑफ द थिंग्स, बट व्हाट द आइडियल वे योर project should look like, that you should mention here. It can be possible कि तुम मिस कर रहे हो, but yeah, that does not matter, that you will cover up during your project, मतलब जब तुम्हारा project चल रहा होगा, right? उसके बाद there comes a section which says why Rocket Chat and this project. So I have described why, and then why me. Of course, you'll have to mention why you will be good for this project, and then after that come मतलब ऐसे ही extra में कुछ डालना होता है. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Like,
that is a very general idea of the proposal कि तुम if there is no proposal mentioned कि कोई ऐसा पर्टिकुलर दिया नहीं गया है कि इस फॉर्मेट में तुमको प्रपोजल लिखना है, then you could definitely use this kind of approach towards it. उसके अलावा तो most of the organization always give कि ये चाहिए उनको अपने प्रपोजल में for each of their projects. Yeah.
yeah. So Manav and Akshat here, like, you want to add something?
Yeah, my proposal was also the same structure as Rahul said. Although my organization shared that what points need to be included, like they included that bullet point that this should be that, this should be there, this is what, why I'm to contribute, what is the approach, previous any contributions, do you know the project like this. In my proposal, there's as always shared that my part also that approach was very deeply shared, means I shared that in a very detailed way that what will be the approach, because it was a networking technology, so I just mentioned many points there. It can be short or large according to the proposal.
Yeah, well, Rahul and Manav both have covered all the points. One thing is that कि जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में तुम अपना प्रपोजल सबमिट करोगे, इट इज गुड कि अगर आप उन लोगों से जो पिछले साल सेम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जीसॉक निकाले हैं, उनसे लिंक्डइन पे जाके उनका प्रपोजल ले सको. तो उससे टेम्पलेट मिल जाएगी, उससे काफी हेल्प हो जाएगा, स्ट्रक्चर मिल जाएगा, उसी में थोड़ा एडिटिंग करके आप अपना प्रपोजल बना सकते हो. तो ये कर सकते हो कि जो पिछले साल लोगों ने निकाला है और जीसॉक, उनसे प्रपोजल मांगो, उनसे टिप्स विप्स मांगो. इट वुड बी हेल्पफुल.
हाँ, और ये प्रीवियस ईयर जीसॉक कंट्रीब्यूटर्स का प्रपोजल पब्लिकली अवेलेबल होता है ना, लाइक इन देयर ओन.
नहीं, पब्लिकली अवेलेबल नहीं रहता है, उनका नाम पब्लिकली अवेलेबल रहता है.
ओके.
और फिर आप वहां से उसे लिंक्डइन पोस्ट थोड़ा देख सकते हो, तो वहां से उसका नाम, उसका प्रपोजल दे सकते हो, मांग सकते हो.
ओके. लाइक,
उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन अवेलेबल रहता है बस, और नाम बस इतना ही रहता है.
हम्म.
लाइक, आर यू कंफर्टेबल, लाइक आप लोग शेयर कर सकते हैं क्या प्रपोजल, कि मैं यूट्यूब में डाल दूंगा
हाँ.
डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक्स.
Yes, I'm sharing the link only.
हाँ, just for juniors to get an idea, like.
नीरज को ऐड मैं थोड़ी देर में भेज दूंगा,
हाँ
मुझे
ठीक है
लिंक बनानी पड़ेगी उसकी।
ठीक है ठीक है।
मैं भेज रहा हूँ, ठीक है नीरज, मैं भेज रहा हूँ, ठीक है।
हाँ भेज दो।
Continue with the next question, Neeraj.
अच्छा ठीक है। ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लास्ट क्वेश्चन किसके साथ स्टार्ट किया था? राहुल भैया के साथ ना, हाँ। तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मानव के साथ स्टार्ट करते
हाँ
हैं।
हाँ।
So while writing the proposal, like, did you face any problems and how did you overcome them?
Mm, the problem was that what we're going to do. Uh, yeah, means you have to do a good. You have need to have a good knowledge about the project itself, because they mention the ideal rates that are not very easy also, but yeah, not very much difficult issues that I faced. Yeah, the most difficult part was only that what I'm going to do, and I have to do a lot of googling for that, because that was not widely available. The technology that I worked upon was very less available. So I made my own approaches, and it was, yeah, as I said, that it became a much larger one. I said also in my proposal, where you can see that not much problems that I faced other than that.
Akshat Bhaiya, would you like to add something?
No, Manav has covered all the points. Rahul, you have anything?
नहीं, good to अगला पूछ लो।
Yeah, like next question is starting from Akshat Bhaiya. How many times like did you have to make changes to your proposal uh, before it finally got accepted? Like mentors review it and ask for some changes, right?
तो मेरा ऐसा हुआ था कि मेरे को कम से कम 4 या 5 बार अपने प्रपोजल में चेंजेस लाने पड़े थे। तो मैंने अपने मेंटर के साथ 2-3 मीटिंग रखी थी, और फिर उसके बाद एक फाइनल प्रपोजल हुआ था। तो इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट अ गुड प्रपोजल, इट इज गुड कि अपने मेंटर से वन ऑन वन बात करो, उससे पहले चैट पे बात करो। अगर ही इज कंफर्टेबल, आस्क हिम फॉर अ मीट, और फिर उससे प्रपोजल में पूछो कि क्या चेंजेस करवाने चाहिए, या फिर कुछ नया आइडिया जो मुझे ऐड करना है अपने प्रपोजल में। तो ऐसे एक अच्छा प्रपोजल क्रिएट हो जाता है इतनी देर में। प्रपोजल मतलब 10 दिन लगते हैं कम से कम एक अच्छा प्रपोजल लिखने में, कम से कम 10 दिन। और घबराओ मत कि मतलब इतने पेजेस का प्रपोजल है, मैं कैसे लिखूंगा, क्या मेरे पास तो कुछ नहीं है लिखने को। तो घबराना नहीं है, थोड़ा टाइम लगता है। अच्छा, 10-15 पेजेस आराम से लिख दिए जाते हैं।
There is one question: how many times we can change the proposal, like until the deadline? Like, it's a private conversation with the
अच्छा,
mentor.
उसमें उसमें कितनी बार भी आप कर सकते हो,
Hmm.
मतलब सबमिट चेंज कर सकते हो बिफोर द डेडलाइन। बिफोर द डेडलाइन आप कितनी बार भी अपना प्रपोजल को अपडेट कर सकते हो।
Rahul Bhaiya, would you like to add something?
नहीं, I think it's good. ठीक है।
Manav?
Means I have communicated many times with my mentors regarding the proposal, but it was accept means I have submitted only once only. I didn't make any changes at the time of submission. I did only one submission. At the last date, I made the submission, because it takes too much time to create that proposal. Yeah, as Akshat Bhaiya said, it takes time.
So there was no back and forth between your mentor and you, like to any review changes?
Uh, yes, as I said that, no, I have communicated previously only with the mentors that I'm doing this. They said, I didn't had that. I had chat with them, but I didn't have any meeting or like something like that. I asked that what to include this proposal that I'm going to mention. So they just mentioned their reviews regarding that, and I made changes according to that only. that much only.
Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah. Like the next question, I think it's already covered, so I'll move to the next. Starting with Rahul Bhaiya. So, like, what are the new things they learned after completing this program? Like,
Uh, New things.
it's your
Okay,
call.
in the sense ki new things you'll get to learn mostly when you are writing your proposal. तब तुम ज्यादा सीख रहे होगे जब एक्चुअली काम कर रहे होगे प्रपोजल लिखने से मतलब बिकॉज यू आर रिसर्चिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स तुम बहुत चीजें खोज रहे हो तो you'll get to learn a lot of मतलब different ideas different like ways to implement those things so like for example my proposal was based on like you all know Discord, right? So like some sort of similar kind of मतलब service बनाना था मेरे को भी on the Rocket Chat's existing platform. So it was mostly I learned about few new JavaScript libraries, uh, which were pretty good. And then there was like the architecture. Of course, the I think one of the important things that you learn during your proposal and पूरा जब भी तुम काम कर रहे हो is how you want to shape your project up कि what files go where ऐसा so those are the things that you learn how to design basically how to design your entire project uh, yeah I think that's it मतलब as a specific if you talk about tech then tech तो of course the more you code the मतलब the more you get involved with more libraries the more you'll get to know about कि कौन सा चीज क्या काम करता है बट या इन जनरल तुम्हें ये पता चलेगा कि आर्किटेक्चर कैसा होता है हाउ टू डिजाइन एंड लाइक प्रपोजल कैसे लिखते हैं हाउ एंड ऑल दैट वगैरह वगैरह yeah.
So there is one question before we move on to other panel members. Like, how is there any website or YouTube channel where I can learn specific topics in app development?
And there are a lot of channels. Means I also learned from YouTube only. There are a lot of channels. Just googling the topic, means search the topic in YouTube, you will get that.
Do you have any recommendation, specific recommendation channels you follow?
Yeah, that is very much random. That depends on the topic also. Uh, start with Flutter. That Flutter was like the channel name was that Smart Herd. Is that Smart Herd like this? Then there was an Android that was coding with T. That much, and
So there
then
is for Kotlin libraries you'll have to find out right so
find out.
in general I don't I'm not sure, but I think that most of us here are not really acquainted with Kotlin or the works of Kotlin. So you'll have to find out. So like तुम्हें खुद ही खोजना पड़ेगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे we have worked on different things. So every developer does not know everything, right? So you'll have to look out. You have to Google कि Kotlin का कौन सा library अच्छा है.
Means like
Check out
Flutter
in the
in
community कि वो लोग क्या recommend कर रहे हैं उनके documentation पढ़ो जाके libraries की and all that. So yeah.
means many developers share their GitHub links where they have mentioned the libraries and how to add them. Like in the dependencies part, there you can add. So there is not any portal like in Node or like in Flutter that there is pub.dev where you can find libraries. I don't think Kotlin has anyone. And this is like in the GitHub only they share that. I know many GitHub links that I have used, but there is not a specific portal for that where we can find that libraries. You have to Google that means for GPS you have to find in Google that how to add that, and there are lots of tutorials for that.
Yeah.
You need to know that what do you want before going to that.
So yeah, basically do your own research. Yeah, find for yourself. There are multiple good stuffs. Just pick one and go ahead with it. So like Manav, the same question, like what are the new things you learn? Like the most part is I think over, like all I've covered. Now I'm just covering what you have, you all individually have learned from this program.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah,
yes, ask us. Neeraj ask.
yeah. So the same question, like what are the new things you learned from your GSOC program?
So previously that for my project, previously I didn't know about that what was peer-to-peer technology. That I learned there. Very means in a good way that I learned that what is peer-to-peer technology, the messaging. Lot about that SQL also because all is handled in SQL database. So I learned a lot of queries there. So mainly the tech stacks I learned and the contribution, how to contact with mentors. Yeah, you don't need to ask everything to mentor. You have to find out yourself only. But apart from that, you learn about your technology itself because you will go into many errors and you will learn better your technology than before the GSOC period.
Yeah, Akshat Bhaiya.
Yeah, so before contributing GSOC, it was like first software जिसमें मैंने अपना कुछ करा था. तो ऐसे बड़े सॉफ्टवेयर में पहले कभी कंट्रीब्यूट किया नहीं है, तो फिर थोड़ा कुछ सीखने को मिला कि कैसे बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और बड़े सॉफ्टवेयर में काम चलता है, कैसे वर्जन कंट्रोल सिस्टम गिटहब पे काम चलता है. टेक स्टैक में तो बहुत बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. ये कम्युनिटी में थोड़ी बातचीत होती है, मेंटर से कैसे बात करना होता है, ये सब सीखने को मिला. काफी कुछ सीखने को मिलता है और काफी इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोसेस है. यही नहीं कि तुम्हें सिर्फ टेक स्टैक में मिलता है, काफी कुछ और भी बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है तुम्हें. टाइम मैनेजमेंट और बहुत सारी चीजें.
Hmm. So yeah, like all these points have also contributes to the answer to my next question, like how does GSOC benefit your career? Like you will learn so many tech stack, you will learn how to communicate. Uh, uh, so in like getting placement, does GSOC help? So I think let's convert my question to this. Akshat Bhaiya, can you start?
या या देखो, जीसॉक जो भी है तुम्हारे रेज्यूमे में चार चांद लगा देता है. और कभी भी तुम ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई करोगे तो तुम्हें को उसका बेनिफिट तो मिलेगा ही.
Mm. So yeah, that's all the question that I've prepared. Like anyone else, like anyone from the panel wants to add something of their own, like that I haven't covered. Or
No, it's okay, I guess. Not from my side. Yeah.
Not from my side as well. If anyone from there who can ask questions.
yeah, ask your questions. And
यार किसी को भी कोई सवाल ववाल हो, कोई भी डाउट हो, उसे लग रहा हो कि ये थोड़ा बेवकूफ वाला सवाल है, लेकिन तब भी पूछ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. अगर कोई सवाल है तो पूछ.
मेंटर्स प्रोवाइडेड बाय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ये
हाँ.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के मेंटर्स रहते हैं. they are basically employees there for that organization, and they do this part time to mentor you. And
For me, the mentors were previous contributors, so they became the mentors now. And the project admin was not a
that is
contributor.
also there.
He was there. He was in different area. What is gold script? Yes, there are many open source events that you can participate other than GSOC. That there is a one shared gold script. There is script printer of code. There is Hacktober. You can, if you are good in online, you can find a lot of this technology. There are also many hackathons you can participate with your friends. That also helps in to learn these technologies and prepare you to make projects. That helps. Hackathons help, but there are open source events also other than this GSOC. Look after that also.
Yeah, you need to be at least 18 plus.
You will receive
इनका
stipend. You will have to.
Yeah, there is one more question that I've just thought about. Like, this is money should not be important, but like, how much money is there after completing the program?
Depends upon country. For India, it is $3,000.
Which is in Indian rupees?
I don't
Converted.
think it's three
अराउंड
thousand
टू
dollar
लाख
अभी.
2,40,000. अभी
$3,000 कर
डॉलर का
देंगे क्या
प्राइस
अभी?
बढ़ गया तो शायद बढ़ जाएगा, अगले साल तक
हाँ
बढ़ जाएगा.
कुछ स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट और बिग प्रोजेक्ट का लाइक प्राइस मनी अलग है ना?
हाँ,
हाँ
जो स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट होता है उसका 1,500 रहता है यूएस डॉलर्स.
175 hours 350 hours
हम्म
ऐसा आवर वाइज होता है.
1500
175
यूएसडी.
hours 50 hours.
हाँ, टाइम भी होता है ना.
हाँ मतलब देर इज
वो
12 weeks
6 वीक्स का होता है.
6 weeks
जो
का होता है तो 175 hours.
स्मॉल प्रोजेक्ट
हाँ
होता है वो 6 वीक्स का होता है, और जो बिग प्रोजेक्ट होता है वो आपका 12 वीक्स का होता है.
हम्म,
और वही है, उसमें $3,000 मिलता है, उसमें $1,500 मिलता है.
हाँ. तो हाँ, इफ मनी इज अ मोटिवेशन तो पैसा भी है.
बिल्कुल. किसको अच्छी नहीं लगती पॉकेट मनी.
Any more questions? नहीं तो we can end. And this YouTube video will be posted on our CodeIIEST channel. So